Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for those who are returning watchers and who watch faithfully. I appreciate your support more than you'll ever know. And also thank you to those who maybe clicked on this video because the title stood out to you or for whatever reason. This is going to be a very interesting video, I can tell you that right now. I feel that there's someone who has a message for a loved one, maybe somebody who's crossed over. You'll understand more when I get to the music. If you're new here, my name is Christy, and I have been doing this channel for about 4 years now. And everyone on this channel has been drawn here by spirit. I very rarely will ever promote the channel. I do maybe a couple times a year promote it. And for the most part, everyone that's here is here because spirit intends for you to be here. I'm not really, I read tarot cards. And I know the meanings to the cards. I've learned them over the last several years, more than I've ever known. And now I'm starting to get into the astrology part of it a little bit better as well. But my primary gift is mediumship. And it was something that was inherited through my family. So welcome. We're glad to have you. We are a tight-knit group here. There's no drama. We have no drama here. We will not tolerate drama here. You're welcome to comment and say anything that's on your heart. You can spew out whatever you need to spew out as long as it's not aimed at anyone in particular. Life is hard sometimes. We all go through times that we need somewhere where we can feel safe to vent our frustrations. And I want this to be that place for you, okay? So welcome. Thank you for being here. And thank you for participating, liking the videos, commenting on them. Share the videos. Sharing these videos is the best way to say thank you to every reader on YouTube because it promotes their content without them having to spend money to do it. And most of us are here because we need to make money, not because we're trying to spend a lot of money. Anyway, I don't charge anything for anything that I do here. There is a way to join the channel, but I've never had anybody join, so I don't know what that would look like. If I do ever get people who join, there will be extra content for members only, but that hasn't happened yet. So until it does, we're going to just keep doing what we've been doing. And the way it works is Spirit will give me a song, and I will use that to kind of form a skeleton of whatever situation is being looked at. And in this particular reading, when I asked for a song, we've had this song before. I got Before I Forget by Slipknot. And I'm gonna tell you the songs that I got. I'm not gonna read them all. I'm gonna read a couple of them to you. But it's like the songs themselves are saying a message to somebody. And this is not a typical genre of music that I listen to. I like it sometimes, and I like some of it more than others. But it's not something that I would typically listen to. So this is a message for somebody who likes heavy metal, okay? So if you love heavy metal, this is probably a message for you. Alright, the first song I got, as I said, was Before I Forget by Slipknot. Then I got Snuff by Slipknot. Then I got Delusions of a Savior by Slayer. I got The Last of the Demons by Rob Zombie. Now You've Got Something to Die For. I don't know who sang that one. Gateways by Dimmu Borgir. I don't know. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. And I said, Spirit, why are you giving me all these heavy metal songs? And Spirit said Never Leave by Bailey Zimmerman. So I want to read to you Before I Forget and Snuff. I do want to read those two to you. I'm feeling led to read those to you. Delusions of a Savior doesn't have any lyrics, and neither does the Holy Wars, The Punishment That's Due. I didn't hear any lyrics in that either. It was just music. But I do want to read to you before I forget. Let's turn the volume down on this. Make sure that we don't get any interruptions. Before I forget, Slipknot. Okay. And I also want to tell you what's been going on with me this morning. So I'll do that before I start on this. I've had a friend of mine on my mind a lot this morning. And he was a heavy metal musician. And so I'm not surprised that I've got all this music. He and I met when we were in high school. But we didn't remember that we had met in high school. We actually had driver's ed together, and back then we had like those cars you drove around the school parking lot or whatever, and then you had the simulators and stuff. But I didn't recognize him then, and many years later, when he was like 36, somewhere in that neighborhood, we met again because he moved down to where my parents live. And he was staying in a camper there while him and his wife were going through some problems that they were having. And when we met, we had like this instant connection. It was very obvious that we had some kind of spiritual connection. We had so many things in common. I mean, you just can't even believe the things that we had in common. Hold on one second, please. Okay, sorry for the interruption. We would sit and talk for hours at the campground where my parents live. And through doing that, we learned a lot about each other. We were only good friends for a few months before he died. But I felt like I had known him forever, and he felt the same way about me. And he had diabetes very severely, and he also drank. I would go to his house sometimes, and he'd be crawling around on the floor looking for his insulin because he would have lost his eyesight from his sugar being in the 500s. And he ended up having to move from where he was living at my parents' house. About a mile or so down the road, and he was then living behind somebody else. And we had we spent a lot of time together when he lived at my parents' house. And when he moved, we kept in contact by phone every day, for the most part every day. And I would check on him because I worried about him. He was not in good health. He had a lot of health problems and was unable to work. And my mom, I worked from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. taking care of an elderly lady, kind of like I do now at Miss Mary's house, but I live with her 24 hours. I would just go from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And he came to my house about 9 o'clock one night on a Friday night. I think it was a Friday night or something. It might have been a different night. I don't remember exactly. But he told my mom he was looking for me because he needed to ask me some medical questions. He knew that I had gone to school and had graduated from nursing school. So he knew I was a nurse. And my mom said, she's at work, and if you need medical help, you should probably go to the emergency room or call a doctor. And when I got home, she said, your friend Dean was looking for you. Did he ever get up with you? And I said, no, but I'll check on him whenever I get up. I had to go to sleep so I could go to work that day. And when I got up, I called and tried to check on him, and I couldn't get him to answer the phone. Well, I finally got up with him, and we made plans to spend the day together. I think it may have been on a Tuesday. I don't remember. Anyway, I went and picked him up, and we had such a wonderful day together. And I took him to see different people in his family and everything. And at the time, he seemed like he was okay, but he did tell me that the reason he was looking for me was because he had swallowed a bunch of pills. And he ended up going to the emergency room, and they pumped his stomach, and he said he would never do that shit again, that he had learned his lesson. And I was like, are you sure? Because I'll go with you and I'll stay with you until you get, checked in and get some help. If you're wanting to hurt yourself, we need to get you some help. No, I'm over it, man. I'm telling you, I'm done with it. I ain't trying that dumb shit again. And so I let it go. I wanted to get him some help, but if you're not ready for help, nobody can help you. And he said, he swore to me he was okay. So I ended up going home after I dropped him off. And we had a really strange moment that day. We went to some different places. Like I said, I took him to see most of his family. And then we went to the mall, and we were at the Hallmark shop in the mall. And we saw a cake top, like for a wedding cake, and it looked like this. It looked like this, except it was smaller, and it was a cake top. But I collect these now. I have a bunch of them. They're called Willow Tree. And I have a whole collection of them. I love them, and I try to get one every chance I get. But when we looked at that cake top, both of us had a reverse deja vu moment. You know, deja vu is like, this has happened before, but the moment that we had was not of the past, it was seeing the future. But I couldn't see it as clearly as he could, and it freaked us both out so much that we walked out of there and we looked at each other when we got outside, and I said, did you feel that? And he said, yeah, and I saw it too. And I said, what did you see? And he said, I can't tell you. And we went home, and all the way home we didn't speak to each other because we were still so overwhelmed by that moment that we shared together, where we had that reverse deja vu moment. And we just listened to a CD that I had bought by the guy that sings Gravity. Stay the hell away from me. Gravity. We listened to that CD. I can't remember his name for some reason. Anyway, Dean was a very special person, and he had a very beautiful heart, but he struggled with a lot of demons, and he told me some of what he struggled with, so I understood a lot about him, but I didn't understand everything about him. I didn't know him long enough to get to know all of the things that they were traumatizing him. They were hurting him, and he had been hurt a lot in life, and then he deserved so much better than what he had in his little short life. When I dropped him off that day, I had realized that I had his medication bag in my car, but when I left, he said, he gave me a kiss, and that was weird because he never kissed me. And he told me, he said that if he was looking for a woman, that he would definitely be interested in me, and that it's not that he wasn't interested in me, but it was that he knew he wasn't healthy enough to be with me, because I was in recovery and he was still struggling with addiction, and he also had a live-in situationship that helped him financially. So anyway, I left and I had his bag, and when I left he said, alright, I'll see you around. He didn't say bye, he said, I'll see you around. And I said, yeah, you're going to see me in like 3 days. We have plans to get together again, remember? And he said, yeah, I'll see you around. And I got in the car and I didn't think anything of it. Well, I realized I had his insulin bag in the car. So I turned around and I went back. And when I pulled up, he came out from around the side of the place where he was staying. And he said, "You did get to see me again." And I said, "Yeah, I got to see you again. You left your medication bag in my car." And he said, "Oh, yeah, I might need that, huh?" And I said, "Yeah, you might." So I gave him his medication bag, and I gave him a hug, and I said, "I'll see you in a few days, okay?" And he just smiled at me. So I left, and I went home, and I got a shower. I picked my kids up from school first. I got a shower, and I was getting ready to go to work. And I got a phone call, and somebody said, you need to go down to Dean's. And I said, "I just left from there." And they said, "No, you need to go to Dean's now." And I was like, "What's happened? Is he okay?" And they just said, "Just go." Well, when I got there, he had hung himself. And his brother was there, and I had never met his brother that I knew of. Now, I've found out since then that we also knew each other from when we were teenagers, because he was good friends with my first husband, and he had been to parties at my house. We used to have huge parties at our house, and he had been there, and I didn't realize it at the time. But when I first met his brother is when I started having a lot of very paranormal experiences in my life, like I've never had before. And I've had a lot of paranormal shit happen to me before I even met him. But when I met him, I started being under a spiritual attack. And I didn't even know I had met him. I didn't know that maybe was what had initiated it. And I don't know now that that's what initiated it. But I started having premonitions about my sister's death. And 3 months later, she died. That's a whole nother video, but just know that she died. And when Dean passed away, when I saw his brother that day, as soon as I looked in his eyes, it was like there was this instant recognition or something of him. And I didn't understand it, and it was not an appropriate time to even try to figure it out, because his brother had just committed suicide. So sometime after the death, I don't know, it was maybe a few months or something, somewhere in that neighborhood, he invited me over to his house to spend time with him and his girlfriend. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. And he said, well, give me a couple of hours because I got to get off work and get home and get a shower and yada yada. And I said, well, that's perfect because I got to go get a new journal from Books A Million, and I'll probably spend a couple hours in there because I love books. So I went to Books A Million and I picked out a journal. And I think I have that journal here somewhere. I do. I have it right here. And this is what the journal looks like right here. And when I bought it, I didn't realize it, but it kind of looks like his brother. His brother had long, curly, sandy blonde hair. Very, very handsome man. Probably one of the best looking men I've ever met. I mean, he was just, because he had such a beautiful way about him and such a beautiful aura. And his brother looks a lot like him. They look a lot alike. But he looks more like his sister than Dean. And Denny's very handsome also. Very good looking man. He's cut his hair now and it's short. But they both always had very long hair and curly. Denny's hair is very, very curly. Anyway, I've been thinking about Dean a lot today, and I think that's why I got these heavy metal songs, because he's trying to communicate something to me, and I don't know why. But when I asked, why are you giving me all these songs, I got Never Leave by Bailey Zimmerman. Also, Denny sent me a Christmas gift, him and his girlfriend Joan, and this is in it. There were several gifts, but this was one of them, and it has all of the signs on it. So that was so sweet of them to do. And I have it sitting there because it kind of lights up. And he made this one for me. And this is what I've been using. So I guess he wanted to get me something else that would be a little bit nicer. But to me, this was the most special thing ever that he made for me, because he took time to make this. I love this too. As you know, it's beautiful and I love it. But this is always going to forever be special to me, because when I reconnected with him, we lost touch. Because he and I ended up sleeping together that night. His girlfriend was on a trip out of town, and it was just a really screwed up situation that never should have happened, but it did. And I felt guilty, and I told her that it happened, and it ruined our friendship, and we all went our separate ways. Well, I went back to school, and I got back with my husband, who I had been separated from. And my husband and I reconciled. I went to treatment, got myself clean, stayed in treatment for 18 months. Went back and got my master's degree in addictions and recovery for human services, and had a good career now. I started a good career for myself. And I've been very, very successful, and I'm grateful for that. And Denny, on the other hand, went in a different direction, and he ended up getting in trouble and ended up in prison. And to make a long story short, that's how we reconnected. Is I found him because his brother Dean had somebody reach out to me that didn't know either one of us. It was a psychic from down in Florida, and he told me to find. He said, Dean wants you to find his brother Denny. And I found him. He was right down the road from me in prison, incarcerated, and he was pulling a 6-year sentence. And I think he had like 2.5 years left on that 6-year sentence. So I met him a little over halfway through the sentence, and we remained in contact daily, pretty much daily. He would miss a few days here and there of talking to me. But for the most part, we talked every day, and I helped him as much as I could to send him money whenever he needed it, to make sure that he had food and whatever, that he needed. So, I don't know why I got these songs, but I kind of think that they're from Dean. And it's Before I Forget, Snuff, Delusions of a Savior, The Last of the Demons, Now You've Got Something to Die For, Gateways, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, and Never Leave by Bailey Zimmerman is the reason for all of these heavy metal songs. So I'm going to read you. Oh, I didn't tell you. This is going to be a lot of channeling, more channeling than card pulling. We are going to pull cards to verify what I'm saying. But I've never told anybody this except one person, and that was Denny's sister. Dean and Denny's sister. She and I reconnected also over the last 6 months. And she's a very spiritual person as well. And I asked her one day, I said, I have often wondered if you have a twin flame, if that twin flame dies, if they are able to somehow gift you to somebody else. Because she said she thought Dean was actually my twin flame, not Denny. And I said, it's funny you say that, because I've often wondered the same thing. And I've often wondered why he and I have such a strong connection like we do. Because he knows that it's there. We're just friends. And that's probably how it'll stay. But I don't know. I don't know. And I can't ask Dean except for through the cards and through channeling. What is the deal? Like, what's going on here? How did I end up with your brother to be so connected when I actually had the stronger connection with him, with you? Like, you and I had a special bond, even though we didn't know each other for a long time. You don't have to know somebody for a really long time. It can be an instant spiritual connection. Okay? So these are the songs. That's the story. And Denny's aware of it. So is his girlfriend or wife. I don't think they're technically married, but they are living together. And the first song is Before I Forget, and I'm going to read you the lyrics to it. Go, stapled shut, inside and outside world, and I'm sealed in tight. Bizarre, but right at home. Claustrophobic, closing in, and I'm claustrophobic. Not again. I'm smeared across the page and doused in gasoline. I wear you like a stain, yet I'm the one who's obscene. Catch me upon all your sordid little insurrections. I've got no time to lose, and I'm just caught up in all the cattle. Fray the strings, throw the shapes, hold your breath and listen. I am a world before I am a man. I was a creature before I could stand. I will remember before I forget. Before I forget that I am a world before I'm a man. I was a creature before I could stand. I will remember before I forget that I'm ripped across the ditch and settled in the dirt, and I wear you like a stitch, yet I'm the one who's hurt. Pay attention to your twisted little indiscretions. I've got no right to win. I just caught up all the battles, locked in clutch, pushed in place. Hold your breath and listen. I am a world before I am a man. I was created before I could stand. I will remember before I forget that I am a world before I am a man. I was created before I could stand. Why did I say created? I was a creature before I could stand. I will remember before I forget. My end, it justifies my means. All I ever do is delay. My every attempt to evade the other road in my head, it justifies my means. All I ever do is delay. My every attempt to evade the end of the road. I am a world before I'm a man. I was a creature before I could stand. I will remember before I forget that I am a world before I'm a man. I was a creature before I could stand. I will remember before I forget I am a world before I'm a man. I was a creature before I could stand. I will remember before I forget. Yeah, oh. So that's Before I Forget by Slipknot. And the very next song I got was by Slipknot also, and it was Snuff. And these are the lyrics to Snuff. Bury all your secrets, and I love this song. This is one of my favorite heavy metal songs. Bury all your secrets in my skin. Come away with innocence and leave me with my sins. The air around me still feels like a cage, and love is just a camouflage for what resembles rage again. So if you love me, let me go and run away before I know. My heart is just too dark to care. I can't destroy what isn't there. Deliver me into my fate. If I'm alone, I cannot hate. I don't deserve to have you. Oh, my smile was taken long ago. If I can change, I hope I never know. I still press your letters to my lips and cherish them in parts of me that savor every kiss. I couldn't face a life without your light. But all of that, I was ripped apart when you refused to fight. So save your breath, I will not hear. I think I made it very clear. You couldn't hate enough to love. Is that supposed to be enough? I only wish you weren't my friend. Then I could hurt you in the end. I never claimed to be a saint. My own was banished long ago. It took the death of hope to let you go. Oh, oh. So break yourself against my stones and spit your pity in my soul. You never needed any help. You sold me out to save yourself, and I won't listen to your shame. You ran away, you're all the same. Angels lie to keep control. Oh, my love was punished long ago. If you still care, don't ever let me know. If you still care, don't ever let me know. And then let's read The Last of the Demons by Rob Zombie. The Last of the Demons, Rob Zombie lyrics. And it goes like this. The last of the demons defeated. Electric warlock, electric warlock, electric warlock, acid witch, electric warlock, electric warlock, electric warlock, acid witch, electric warlock, electric warlock, electric warlock, acid witch, electric warlock, electric warlock, electric warlock, acid witch. And then now you've got something to die for. Let's see what that's about. Now you've got something to die for lyrics. And this is a song by Lamb of God. I didn't know who it was by, but that's who it's by. And this is how it goes. Now you've got something to die for. Now you've got something to die for. Infidel, imperial, lust for blood, a blind crusade, apocalyptic, we count the days. Bombs to set the people free, blood to feed the Dollar Tree, flags for coffins on the screen, oil for the machine, army of liberation, gunpoint indoctrination, the fires of sedation fulfill the prophecy. Now you've got something to die for. Now you've got something to die for. Send the children to the fire. Sons and daughters stack the pyre. Stoke the flame of the empire. Live to lie another day. Face of hypocrisy. Raping democracy. Apocalypse. We count the days. Oh, we'll never get out of this hole until we've dug our own grave and dug the rest down with us. The burning home of the brave. Burn. Now you've got something to die for. Now you've got something to die for. And let's just see what Gateways is. Why not? Gateways, Dimas Burgett. Gateways, Dimmus Bergit. I'm not going to be able to pull that one up, I don't think. Anyway, that was another one. You can probably find it somehow. Let's see. I got it right here. Okay, here we go. I've never heard these songs. The core principle of freedom is the only notion to obey. The formula of evolution and sin leading the way. The rebirth is near completion as we slowly awaken from slumber. As we slowly awaken from slumber, the malpractice of the spirit ends. Gateways. When the gift is once again attained. Gateways. No rules or restraints are longer valid. When the ancient future is reclaimed, no rules or restraints are longer valid. When the ancient future is reclaimed, it's all there for the eyes that can see. The blind ones will always suffer in secrecy, for it is the omen of what lies submerged, untouched within us. The core principle of freedom is the only notion to obey. The formula of evolution and sin leading the way. The rebirth is near completion as we slowly awaken from slumber to receive the light that shines in darkness, the light that shines forevermore. Be the broken or the breaker. Be the giver or the undertaker. Unlock and open the doors. Be the healer or the faker. The keys are in your hands. Realize you are your own soul creator of your own master plan. Be the broken or the breaker. Be the giver or the undertaker. Unlock and open the door. Be the healer or the faker. The keys are in your hands. Realize you are your own soul creator of your own master plan. This person is really speaking to somebody, whoever this is for. And then there's holy wars, the punishment that's due. And there's no lyrics to that I could hear. You may find it in a different version. But I said, Spirit, why are you giving me all these heavy metal songs? And this is what I got. It's a song we've had many times before. Never Leave by Bailey Zimmerman. And it goes like this. Yeah, we're only human, but that don't mean that we can't change. I can hurt you or you can hurt me, but we feel each other's pain. And that's what makes us human, that I could break your heart in two and still love you through all the days we've been getting through. For both our sakes, let's put love back in its place. I won't give up on you, so darling, don't give up on me. Don't you want to stay? Don't just walk away from our memories. And I can't promise nothing but the rest of me. I'll fight for you, I'll fight for us, I'll fight to never leave. And life don't make it easy, but you're the reason my heart beats. You swore you'd never leave me, so I've been thinking it'd be easy to get down on one knee. For both our sakes, let's put love back in its place. I won't give up on you, so darling, don't give up on me. Don't you want to stay? Don't just walk away from our memories. And I can't promise nothing but the rest of me. I'll fight for you, I'll fight for us, I'll fight to never leave. I promise not to let you fall. I said that I would give my all. And you know that won't change. Yeah, it'll always be the same. I won't give up on you, so darling, don't give up on me. Don't you want to stay? Don't just walk away from the memories. And I can't promise nothing but the rest of me. I'll fight for you. I'll fight for us. I'll fight to never leave. Never leave. Never, 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 never leave. So that's why we got all the heavy metal songs. Because somebody wants you to never leave. Alright, Spirit, show me what you want to do here today. Because this is going to be different, I can tell already. How do you want to begin? We're going to start with a prayer. Prayer, please, for this reading. Holy Spirit, I ask you to take over and to use me in ways like you've never used me. Take over my body, my mind, my spirit, and do whatever it is you would do for the highest and greatest good of anyone who might see this video. Give us a message today that will encourage us and be life-changing for the best. Whoever you are, your stuff always goes on the floor. I have to reach for it. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. So you are someone whose Spirit is saying you are a light worker. You are someone who brings light. You bring that light. And there was a song that we just read. I think it was Snuff. And it talked about if I have to live without your light, don't let me know. there was something to that degree. All right, let's talk about virtues, Spirit. How are you working in the virtues of the person that's the heavy metal is for? How are you working in their virtues? Honesty, courage, love, joy, perseverance. Woo, Spirit is really working in your life. And then you have integrity that came out upside down. Spirit's trying to help you to have integrity and also to show respect. I'm hearing that song by Pantera, Respect. Walk on home, boy. Alright, honesty, courage, love, joy, integrity, perseverance, and respect. That's a lot of work. It's a lot, but it's good stuff, and it's gonna make you a beautiful, beautiful creature. You were the world before you were born, and you were a creature before you could stand. Inner peace and solitude. Spirit, how are you working in this person's life? May I see, please? Can you show me how you're working in their life? Change and inner peace. They want you to change so you can have inner peace. Alright, what else? Focus on change. It's time for you to focus on some changes that need to be made. Alright, how are you working in this person's life? May I see, please? Embracing, taking risks, and having abundance. So they want you to embrace a risk. There's a risk you need to take, and you need to embrace this risk. Right now you're not embracing it. You see it, you know it's there, and you know what it would lead you to, but for some reason you won't embrace this risk. What's being hidden here? Protection. Secretly you have protection. I'm going to ignore that phone call, but somehow a phone call is significant to this situation. And maybe the fact that somebody didn't answer the phone. Okay? Alright, and what's being shown? That you need to focus. You have protection and you need focus. It's time for you to focus. And if they do, what will be the outcome? A new beginning. You'll have a new beginning. And it's going to be about you having honesty, courage, love, joy, integrity, perseverance, and respect. With blessings is what you don't see coming. Alright, now I would like to get a message from Shaman's Dream for you. May I have a message from Shaman's Dream by Alberto Villado and Colette Baron Reed. I'm going to have to read the meanings, I'm sure. But I'd like to get a message. What's the main thing that this person needs to get, the takeaway of this reading? Dragon's Hoard and many masks. The Dragon's Hoard is that you've been given luck into a place of abundance, and you can grab all the treasures you can fit in your hands, but you have to not carry things that are selfish. You're meant to be a healer. Dragon's Hoard and the Wall. You got Dragon's Hoard. Somebody got it the other day. The Wall and Lay of the Land. Ancestral wisdom. Somebody's ancestors are here to give them some wisdom. Alright, what's the takeaway for this person for this reading, Spirit? What do you want them to take away? What's the main thing you want them to get from this reading? Good, strong answers only, please, from the universe. Wow. Wow. Covenant and Metox came out again. And I'm going to read them to you, even though we just had them the other day. We may have some new people here that haven't seen them. And then we have Sky Dancers, Joyful Muse. You're somebody who maybe plays an instrument. 33 could be significant. And then we have Skybridge and Dream Thief. But I'm going to stop at Sky Dancers, okay? Surrender. This is about you knowing that you have a contract that you have to fulfill and that you need to detox. You need to clean yourself up, rid yourself of clutter and relationships that no longer serve your highest and greatest good. And I don't know what Sky Dancers is. We're going to read about these, and I want you to hear. This is what Spirit wants you to get from this message. Alright, number 7, covenant, a sacred contract. Commitment, sacred contract, the greater good. You are being invited now by the universe to enter into a sacred contract. The covenant card may also be a call to recognize that an ancient agreement you made with Spirit needs to be renewed or canceled and torn up. It is an opportunity showing up right now that is full of promise. Let me start over. Is an opportunity showing up right now that is full of promise, but you are unable to sign and seal the deal or commit to it. The reason is that it needs to be reevaluated to a sacred covenant. A covenant must be founded on the truth, not your truth, or his truth, or her truth, but a greater truth that takes the destiny of all into account. The covenant is not about your agenda only. Spirit must be invited to come to the table as guarantor of the good faith of all and ensure that the direction you are embarking in will be for the greater good. It's important that you understand what you are signing up for. Be sure to read the fine print so as not to commit to something you will soon regret, or that will compromise your integrity. And you have integrity showing up here. Do not hesitate to put all your own cards on the table so that your motives and desires are transparent and nothing is left in darkness. When shadow elements remain hidden, the covenant breaks down and becomes a contract with an unspoken dark side that is inevitably fulfilled. And we saw that in the heavy metal music, didn't we? Number 39, Metox. I can't believe we got these same cards the other day. Spirit's amazing. Eliminating toxic thinking, repairing the body, mind, spirit, and cleaning your house. When the Metox card appears, it challenges you to discard the deep, dearly held judgments that you have passed over yourself and others. Release the people who you feel wronged or offended you. Recognize that they mirror the shadow aspects of your own soul. Yes, it is a tough pill to swallow. Only then can you cull from your life the toxic people you have allowed into your inner circle. It's time for a cleaning of your proverbial house. Get rid of the thoughts and personal judgments poisoning your mind. Eliminate the inauthentic beliefs of others you've adopted as your own. Do so before your mind makes you sick, and empty your literal cupboards of the unhealthy junk food poisoning your body. Fast for one day or skip a meal to allow your body to cleanse itself and rid itself of toxins. Metox appears as a warning that you can no longer postpone the self-care and pampering you long for. The time is now. Do healthy maintenance on your body before you have to make repairs that you will never quite recover from. Metox has come to caution you that it is not too late, but you are at the 11th hour. Do not deprive yourself of the health you deserve. So you are in a place where your health could be compromised if you don't take care of your body, mind, and spirit. Your spirit could be compromised, or it could be an illness. It could be a mental illness. It could be any kind of illness. And we're being warned that we made a promise. We made a contract. And we need to know what God's will is in this contract. Not what I want, not what you want, not what they want, but what does God want for this contract? Why is this so important? And it's time to clear ourselves of the junk, the clutter, the negative thinking, the hate, the resentments, all of the things that we've been holding on to for so long. It's time to let those things go. Sky Dancers, number 48. Liberation from attachment and surrender. When a sky dancer appears, she is inviting you to welcome the deepest power of the feminine into your life. You have already overanalyzed your situation to exhaustion. Now is the time to invite the sacred feminine, the wisdom within your heart, no matter your gender, to guide you to success. If you have become earthbound, plotting and planning and praying for change, cease and desist. Break the habit of being yourself, of repeating the same behavior and hoping for a different outcome. Stop trying to figure it all out and stop overthinking it. Surrender. The sky dancers are heralding the arrival of a new relationship with yourself in your work or in your love life. Do not assume that this person or opportunity will rescue you. The only way to liberation is to kiss the ground goodbye and take flight, to rise above the fray and the drama of the struggling, arguing mind. Dance in the sky and view the madness below. By simply witnessing the actors and the human comedy unfolding on the ground, you are transforming it. As you observe the drama, you unleash the power of the sacred feminine that allows for resolution. The sky dancers know the maps of heaven and the way to the holiest and the most sacred spaces on earth. They come to help you with your current life, and even more important, to guide you to the realization of your own divinity. And then I'm being led to read to you Joyful Muse, number 33, because this is what you're meant to be in this world. Inspiration, the gift of play and inner child. The Joyful Muse invites you to be more playful, to have more mirth and joy in your life. You have become boring to yourself, even as others continue to find you interesting. Circumstances have dulled your edge, and it's time to change. Not the things around you, but your attitude. Blow a morning kiss to yourself in the mirror. Smile to a stranger. Wink to a child. Be mildly but elegantly inappropriate. The Joyful Muse is a source of inspiration, a wild and disruptive feminine force that compels you to invite more pleasure and delight into your life. Give yourself permission to be mischievous and find the humor in the tragedy while careful not to become frivolous. The power of this muse will shake up everyone around you and invite you to create beauty and grace out of the pain and tragedy you perceive in areas of your life. The Joyful Muse often comes at a time when darkness prevails and the future seems dour. Embrace her gifts, being playful without being silly. Invite the child inside you to come out for a play date, and he or she will help you to return to your innate innocence. The place of never been there, never done that, even if it is the same routine you wake up to every morning. Alright, so you are being given a profound message from Spirit that you have or are signing a sacred covenant. And you need to detox. It's time for me to detoxify. And it's time for me to get Spirit's perspective, to fly away from this ground. Metaphorically, you need to fly away. You need to meditate, and you need to use astral projection to leave this body, to leave this earth, and to look at it from God's perspective, and to even find humor in it. Because when you look at things from the larger perspective, you realize how frivolous and trivial some of the bullshit that we allow in our lives can be. And you're being encouraged to be more playful. Not to be silly or to be ridiculous, but to just bring an innocence back. Get your innocence back. Your innocence was stolen. And it's time for you to recover that. To blow yourself a kiss in the mirror. Wink at a child. Smile at a stranger. Stop being the victim. Somebody here plays the victim. Alright, so we're going to find out more about this. You're being encouraged to embrace taking a risk that'll lead you to your abundance. You're being secretly given protection. You're being shown that you need to focus, and the outcome is going to be a new beginning. And it's coming through a covenant. It could be a new relationship, or it could be an old relationship. But there's a covenant. You're being asked to sign a covenant. You could be planning a marriage for some of you. Alright, Spirit, what do you want to do next? Show me how you're working in the spiritual gifts here. Because I sense that you are. How are you working in the spiritual gifts here? Spirit says you have an angel. You have an angel. Alright, any other spiritual gifts here? Spirit says, oh wow. You're going to have butterflies. This is transformation. You're going to have a home. And you're going to have abundance. You're going to have a house with abundance and transformation. That's your new beginning. You're going to have your own home. And abundance. You have abundance showing up twice. And your chakras. Align your chakras through meditation. Focus on aligning these energy centers. These energy centers, when you get in the presence of the person you have this contract with, are going to literally explode. And you'll feel it. It's going to be something like you've never experienced, if you haven't already experienced that. Alright, Spirit, what next? What do we want to do next? I'm being led to get you a message from Dreamweaver by Colette Baron-Reid. I don't use these cards very much, but I am going to use them for you, and I may have to read some of them. Alright, what message do you have now from Dreamweaver Oracle? I'm not going to read the pre-shuffle. I'm just going to read the cards that come out for you. What message would you give us from Dreamweaver? Dreamweaver, Spirit, what message would you give this person from Dreamweaver? What message do you have from Dreamweaver for this individual? Or for these individuals? Because there's more than one of you. Okay, I got one card in the bottom of the deck. Oh, I got two cards. Two cards here. One of them says, it's number 35, all the threads of fate must bend. And number 19, only weavers know the time. Number 42, when you're neither here nor there. Alright, so let's see what Spirit's saying here. All the threads of fate must bend, number 35. Essential meaning. The essential meaning is being flexible, cultivating resilience, and being adaptable. Remember, you're not willing to embrace taking a risk. There is no such thing as a situation that is perfectly set in one state of being. Nothing difficult and painful will remain that way forever, and nothing joyous and free will remain in the same expression forever either. Imagine the weaving of the threads of fate in the tapestry of life. The threads must bend and move, or they are pliable, supple, not meant to be rigid sticks. Life is the same way. Your experience of life now requires you to be adaptable to conditions and flexible as to how to respond to them. In this way, you build up a resilience to meet life on life's terms, while simultaneously continuing to pay attention to your dreams and desires for your most meaningful life. Seen this way, all of life is an experience. You are a story that is always in motion, changing, dancing with the dream weavers, surrendering. There's surrender again. Surrendering your desires, allowing curiosity to lead you in the dark and in uncharted territories ahead of you. Right now, release your rigid ideas of how you think things should be, how the form of things should be, how another person should be, and just allow a state of wonder and curiosity to lead you. Ask yourself in wonder, what might I discover here? Let go of your assumptions. Be present to this beautiful opportunity offered to you right now. Fate has brought you to this moment, but destiny will be what you make of this, what you make it to mean. Fate has brought you to this moment, but destiny will be what you make it to mean. Okay? And then number 19, only weavers know the truth. Essential meaning, releasing timetables, trusting timing, all the time in the world, the power to expand time. The dream weavers know the perfect timing of your dreams to manifest in the outer world, but their timetable often does not coincide with your own expectations. Sometimes you can get caught up in worrying that you're running out of time, that you might have missed the proverbial boat for success, but this is false. The universe doesn't operate in linear time. The dream weavers are moving the threads of fate and destiny around on the cosmic loom for your benefit right now. It's time to release your need to know the timing of things and trust that if you keep taking one step at a time, following the signs that sparkle in the mystical threads of synchronicity and serendipity, you will be so much happier. Life is an adventure, so let go of your need to have things your way. When you want it, how you want it, the way you want it. The universe might have a way better idea of what you need, so stay curious and open. You are so blessed, and what is truly yours will not be withheld from you. Trust in divine timing, and all will be well. And then number 42, okay, I have 816. 8106 could be significant, or 816. When you're neither here nor there, number 42. The period of time between what was and what you are moving toward, not quite there yet, being present every step of the journey. Are you feeling a little lost because your goals and intentions seem so far away? You know, you cannot live your old life anymore. So with one foot still in the past and one reaching for the future, you discover you're at an in-between world. This place still has flavors of your past, but it's also brightly colored by the glittering dreams of your future. You're just not there yet. This is a wondrous place to explore, for this is where you get to reconsider your past, choosing to see it as a sacred and beautiful, and not seeing it as sacred and beautiful, and not something to discard or run away from. If you can bless all that has brought you here right now, you'll see your time between worlds will not be long at all. Is there anything at all you need to release in this limited space? Do you need to cut any cords to old thinking? Are any of your old stories or unfinished business niggling at you? Now is the perfect time to consider an inventory to ensure you're not bringing any old baggage forward on this journey with you. Most important, you must see how far you've come. You are an extraordinary being of light, blessed by the universe, here on purpose. Trust your dreams and desires are sacred. They matter, and the perfect form they will arise to greet you on the other side of the in-between, where you may sometimes feel you're neither here nor there. Bringing yourself to this moment and make effective use of it. Bless your life. You have nothing to lose on this adventure. So you're having to take an inventory of your past. Don't regret it. Find the good in it. What good came of whatever you went through, no matter how hard it may have been. And realize that you have abundance showing up. You have protection. You have an angel. They need you to focus, because you're about to have a new beginning, and you're going to have a transformation that's going to bring you a home and abundance. Okay? And you have to embrace taking a risk in order to get to this abundance. And this is about you embracing that risk. Is that you're at that in-between place, and you can't hate your past. You have to just learn from it and realize what good came of it. And whatever you don't want to bring into your future, you have to discard it. You're being asked to do a detox because you have a covenant. You have a contract you have to fulfill. And it's time to get rid of the things that no longer serve your highest and greatest good. That might include people. That could be family. It could be dear friends who are just not on the same page with you anymore. Alright, I want to ask your higher self. Higher self, what do they need to know so they can embrace this risk? You're not embracing this risk towards your abundance. What do they need to know so they can embrace the risk? What do they need to know to embrace the risk? This is your higher self speaking to you. This is what the higher self of you would say. Not the part of you that's terrified. The part of you who knows no fear. Who knows the future. Who understands what you're going to lose out on. What do they need to know in order to face this risk? To take this risk? They said you need to have that courage. You have courage here twice. All you have to have is courage, baby. Courage. Courage to take a risk. And what's the outcome of this risk? Vision, your intuition, asking for guidance. You're not alone, and you're having dreams. You're having visions and dreams. The outcome of taking this risk is you're going to be able to use your intuition. You can ask for guidance because you're not alone, and you're going to have dreams and visions. Your dreams are coming true. The things that you want to see are happening, and there's your transformation again. You are about to go through a transformation like you have never imagined, and it's coming through a contract and a detox. It's time to get rid of the negative thinking, the negative people, the negative situations, the things from your past that you're trying to hold on to because you're afraid to go into a future that you've never understood or known or thought was possible. Spirit's saying it is not only possible, it is your destiny what you do right now. You're being given this. What you do with it is your destiny. What you make it mean. You know, I never did get the answer to my question about Dean, you know, and if he was the twin flame, and if I was given to his brother to take care of me, to help me in this journey, because he knew, he may have seen that I was going to end up alone. I don't know. I don't know. The cards always say that Denny's the twin flame. But maybe they can gift us to other people. So that person can have a second chance. I don't know. It's just something I've thought about over the years that I've never shared with anybody. Okay, what do you want to do next, Spirit? What do you want to do next? I want to find out more. Let's see. Show me how the person in this contract feels about you. How does the person in the contract feel about you? They feel like you're beautiful, but you're shattered. They feel like you're better off and you're beautiful. They feel like you're better off and that you have illusions. Alright, how does the person in this contract feel about the contract with you? They have memories. They remember. What do they remember? They remember that there was a time that there was something that was unspoken. They regret that they never said something to you, or they were disappointed. And it had to do with consequences, being trapped, and being at a distance. I think this person knew, they remembered, and they knew what was unspoken. That you weren't seeing your part in this. You weren't seeing. They didn't tell you. They saw what was happening, but they didn't tell you that you weren't seeing it. That you were going to get trapped at a distance from them, and you were going to have consequences. Alright, how does the other person in the contract feel? Damn it, boy. They feel like you're divine feminine, and it's only you. And somehow somebody misunderstood this. And what's going to be the outcome of the contract? You're going to purge, heal, and clear your energy. You're going to detox. And you're not going to apologize. Why is apology in reverse? Because somebody has been very tense and very tricky. They were dishonest and tricky, and they caused a lot of stress. But they're purifying. Why won't they apologize for that? Because of being solitary. Why do they want to be solitary? Because they have a confession about being your friend. And what's that confession? The confession is that there's been dark influences. Somebody's reached their limit with being sidetracked and being frozen. What would the other person say in response? They would say somebody's a secret admirer and they're shallow. Why are they being shallow? Because of all the pride they have, and they've been running from an infatuation, an addiction, a compulsion. They had a lot of ego, arrogance, and they were stubborn because of an addiction or something, and they were running and avoiding. Anything else you can tell us about this? There's confusion and somebody's not using their intuition. What's the truth? That somebody's been roaming wild and this is not a fantasy. And what's going to be the outcome of that? Somebody's going to let go because there's no boundaries. And they're getting a resentment. They're starting to get a resentment. Alright, so all the cards are on the table. We see Divine Feminine here. We obviously have a Divine Masculine and Feminine here. And they know that you're the only one. You're alone, you're solitary. Alright, show me where the Divine Masculine is when it comes to this covenant. Show me where the Divine Masculine is in the covenant. In the spring, they've been doing shadow work since the spring. That's good. They are feeling the vibes since the spring. Where's the Divine Masculine in this situation, Spirit? They have regret and they're feeling the vibes. Where's Divine Masculine out here, Spirit? May I see, please? Divine Masculine, you're being reinvented, but it's in reverse. Why is his reinvention in reverse? Because of not returning. Alright. What's gonna happen in the next month about that? Can you show us? They're going to be a victim. They're going to play the victim. They couldn't change. They couldn't return because of being a victim. What's the truth? The truth is that they don't want to hear it and they're not going to listen. Muted. You've been muted. Where's the Divine Feminine here? Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine is here. The answer is no in reverse. I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to tell you no, I've learned my lesson. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to make an offer. And I'm hoping that you'll forgive me for not doing shadow work. And what's going to be the outcome? Your family is here and destruction, but in reverse. Why is your family having destruction? Because of communication you didn't receive. You haven't received communication about some destruction in your family. What's going to be the outcome? The answer is going to be yes. Clarify the answer is yes. Somebody's going to take off their mask. What's under their mask? They're ending something because they're not devoted. What are they ending? Recognition. What do you mean recognition? They didn't recognize that they were separated from you and that they were bound to somebody else in union. So they were with the wrong person having union. And there's the twin flame. What's going to be the outcome of the separation? You're thinking about that and you want to compromise and change. What compromise do you want to make? You want to release and stop romanticizing. And and you want to be creative. What's going to be the outcome here? There's a karmic partner that's ending because of justice. And somebody's spying from a fake account. Show me how this karmic partner feels about this relationship between this divine masculine and feminine. You feel like there's no chemistry. What's the truth? The truth is that somebody's clashing. It's causing shock, the unexpected, and trouble because somebody's very shallow and clashing. What's the truth about the spark? That this person actually is infatuated with them. It's not just a spark. It's an infatuation, and they have a lot of pride. What does this karmic partner want to see happen with this relationship? They think it's an illusion. What's the truth? What's Spirit's truth? That it's a vow, it's a covenant, it's a contract. And what's going to be the outcome? Somebody's going to be tricky and be alone. Somebody's going to be dishonest and tricky, and they're going to end up being single. Because of the tension that it's causing. Why is this person on mute? Because they're guarded, cautious, and afraid, holding on, obsessing, and watching, and they're beautiful. Outcome of this offer and forgiveness. Memories. Remembering. Divine Feminine. It looks like there's going to be an offer for Divine Feminine. That's what it looks like to me. What's going to happen with this karmic partner? The karmic partner is using something to escape. There's a dying love in reverse, and they want to be alone. It's your choice in reverse. It's like they're escaping. Their love is it's not just dying, it's dead. They feel alone and like they have no choice. What's the truth? The truth is that somebody's incomparable. They have no new love, and they're fighting it because somebody has a secret love and they can't control it. Clarify incomparable. Somebody's on the verge of telling you how they feel. They don't want one last chance. You're all in their head and they want to online date you. They don't want to be a player. Outcome of the verge. They're going to tell you, I'm going to make a decision. And what will that decision be? They're going to say, I don't care about this. I'm unfazed by the differences. I don't love you anymore. I don't care about you. I'm not emotionally invested in this. We're just too different. And I don't love you anymore. I don't choose you. Who do you choose? Somebody you can't move on from, that it hasn't been time for. You couldn't eliminate, and you had no desire to win. And what's going to be the outcome of them? Somebody is almost at their breaking point when it comes to work and self-pleasing. Like, they don't self-please. They don't masturbate. All they ever do is work. And somebody's at their breaking point. What's going to be the outcome of that? There's gossip. They will call. Don't lose hope in reverse. You need to erase a mistake you made. And there's gossip. And somebody's in denial that this is true love. So let's see what the gossip is. What's the gossip here? That somebody's been going to the gym and they've been venting and talking about you to somebody and about your issues. What are they saying? They're saying that you're promiscuous and insecure. What's the truth? That this is a love story once upon a time and you need anger management. What's going to be the outcome here? The outcome is going to be a fake apology for getting a room. Why are you getting a room? Because caution. I can't keep you a secret anymore. I can't have sex with you. You're not toxic and I hate nothing about you. I'm not a great actor. What's the truth about I hate nothing about you? Hold the phone. Somebody's doing drugs. They're sick and they want to set the record straight. What's the record straight? The straight record is I'm getting a divorce. I know I fucked up. I'm trash and the police were involved. That's so horrible. And you want a new beginning because somebody's busy and they betrayed you. Outcome of your new beginning. You're in your feelings about it. And the sugar and the salt both look the same. What's the truth about the sugar and the salt? That somebody would be fulfilling your... This person would fulfill your fantasy, but you would get caught up and get caught cheating. And that would destroy somebody. So what are you going to do? Somebody's going to be jealous, and you already know the tea. Somebody is centered and aligned with the universe. You're dealing, this card, betrayal. Betrayal fell out. Somebody betrayed you. And somebody is centered and aligned with the universe here. Alright, can you show me how this happened, Spirit? With the tarot, how did this happen? Somebody was going through a dark night of the soul. They felt empty and disconnected. What was being hidden? That they needed to overcome this. They needed to go somewhere, travel possibly. What were they trying to overcome? Getting out of an imprisonment and not knowing what decision to make. What decision have they secretly made? They're going to be cold, and the King of Wands is here. They're going to take charge. They want it all, but they're cold. Why are they cold? They're sending you mixed signals. The High Priestess is here. The Wheel is here. The Ten of Swords is here. The Lovers is here. And the Four of Pentacles is here. The High Priestess and the Wheel came out in reverse. They're cold because they intuitively know they have karma coming. Because they made a choice to end something with somebody that was controlling. Or they didn't end it is what they did. They didn't end it and they wouldn't make a decision because of insecurity, controlling, and holding on to something. What's the outcome of the Wheel going to be? Card in the wrong deck alert. My mind and heart always comes back to you. Strength in reverse. And reevaluating this and divine timing. The wheel is that it's time for you to admit that my mind and heart always comes back to you. This is my weakness, and I can't stop reevaluating you and how much you mean to me. Alright, what's being shown? What's the T? The Hermit in reverse, unawakened, and healing. So somebody here is healing from something. And they're soul searching about how unawakened somebody is. Virgo's here. Leo's here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is here. And the T is here. And then we have the Queen of Wands. His identical match. This is soulmate vibes. So this is a soulmate that has a twin flame. And I'm going to stop there and look at the T. There's more T. What's the T, Spirit, that I need? That somebody has to use sexual protection. And they have to protect themselves to keep themselves safe. And they're over it and tired of the drama. Why do they have to do that? Because somebody is not a great actor. They're going to kick you to the curb because of having a private relationship. They're tired of being controlled. And they're tired of having manipulation, lies, and pulling strings. They can't burn the evidence, and they need to chill out. They're destroyed. They're going to destroy this person. Somebody is out to get this person. Alright. So what's going to be the outcome of all of this right here? Oh, the phone. Something is about to end. And it's something. There's two women here that are ending. You have a Cancer and a Leo that keep you up at night because you have to end it with these two people. Why does that keep you up at night? Because you don't want to take their love. You broke up with them. You spy on them. You've waited a long time for something. You have too many options. And you don't want to take love for either of these people. What do you want? You want to rip somebody apart. And it's a friend of yours. Why do you want to hurt your friend? You're undecided about hurting this person because you know it would make somebody's wishes come true. What are you leaning towards? You want to have it all. You're awakening to the fact that you can have it all if you'll stop being a player and clean up your karma and move away from this situation. You're in between. You got to stop bringing the stuff from the past into the future. And you have two relationships that you need to cut the cord. If you don't understand what I mean, it's better in a full moon. You need to take the cord and you need to do a ritual with the cord cutting, and you need to cut the cord of these two people because they are attached to you at a soul level connection. And you have somebody that you can have it all with. Clarify the outcome of having it all. Why is being left out in the cold here? Because you can't make a decision. Somebody's money hungry. They're King of Swords. They have a lot of toxicity, and they don't want. It's like they don't want this new beginning. They just want money. What's going to be the outcome for this King of Swords? You're going to have to get a job, and you're going to have a lot of passion about it. Clarify the passion about work. There's something that's going to bring you passion at work. It could be somebody you work with. It's somebody you work with. What's going to be the outcome of working with this person? That's where you're going to come. The transformation is going to come in. There's going to be no more rejection. You're going to heal from these breakups. And you're going to stop going so slow. You're not able to earn a living. You got to make some decisions, baby. What if they would go towards this contract they have? They'd stop feeling guilty and they would have self-love. And what's being hidden about this? That somebody's controlling them. What's being shown? That they're remembering and awakening. And what's going to happen next? Oh, divine masculine, baby! Divine masculine and a Venus offer. Oh, God. Why is the Venus offer in reverse? Because he just hasn't told you yet. He might even show up at your door. Mercury's here. What would be your response to that offer? You would say, are you still in your comfort zone? And what would he say to that? He would say, I separated from them. I want to put down some roots with you. Something happened in the fall and he was in his comfort zone. And you're going to ask him, why are you leaving your comfort zone? Why do you want to make an offer to me when you're in your comfort zone since the fall? And he's going to say, because I'm longing for you and I'm separated from them now. And what will you say to that? You will say, let's go. Unity. Let's do it. No more past lack and suffering for us. We're going for our abundance. You got a house and all kinds of stuff showing up. Alright, anything you want to say out of here? Somebody's vulnerability is in reverse. Be patient right now. But somebody won't open up to you and talk to you. But Spirit is saying, be patient right now. There's been an addiction they're getting over. Alright, what's going to be the outcome of being patient right now? Warning. Why are you warning us? Because somebody's in denial. Denial about what? Longing. What's the truth? They're healing and they want to take care of themselves. They're longing to heal and take care of themselves. Why is that a warning? Because they're with somebody that's strictly sexual. And what's going to be the outcome of that? They're going to play hard and have a lot of passion. Alright, and why do we care? Because they don't want to have any regret. What do you mean they don't want to have any regret? Because of the past life love, not being married, having acceptance, having a friendship, and having stability. And they want to retreat. What's going to be the outcome of the friendship? You have to wait in reverse. Somebody's awakening in reverse and go slow. Why is it all coming out in reverse? Because you're on different pages. There's going to be a second chance because of an apology. Clarify that. Obstacles. Why are you telling me there's obstacles? Because of chemistry and obsession and true love. And it's fate. What's fate? That they stop having this addiction with this soulmate. And what will happen then? They'll take a leap of faith towards this new love and have their abundance. Clarify the new love. Somebody you've had time apart from, and and who needs to give you forgiveness. Can you clarify it further? Somebody you need to release so you can have abundance and children and trust. You haven't learned a spiritual lesson. You don't have integrity. There's no boundaries. Make a decision about the soulmate so you can have forgiveness. There's interference, no support. You're not using your intuition. You won't put away the computer. You won't start rejecting this person. You need to retreat, master a spiritual lesson. It's protected. You're unavailable. There's no balance. Your finances are affected. And that's why you're not with your twin flame. Alright, let's look at your finances. And I have a special gift for you in the finance deck tonight. And when you see it, if you will comment, the first person to comment will get it. You have to have PayPal or Cash App set up, okay? Alright, show me what's going on in the finances of Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine, you're not going to have any charity. The underworld is here. You can't talk about it and you're juggling. Alright, what's going on with Divine Feminine? Divine Feminine, your happiness just fell on the floor. But it's upright. So you're happy. There's something you can't see that's temporary and it's a rescuer. Clarify what you can't see. Somebody's a teacher. Somebody's not beautiful. And why are you telling us this? Because they're buying or selling something. They're not celebrating. And the office is in reverse. Why is the office in reverse? Because somebody is a workaholic. They're not going to have setbacks, and science is here. Why is science here? Because somebody is exploring. They're not motivated, and they're going to do odd jobs. Outcome of their odd jobs. They're going to have perfection. They're going to be settling, and their spirituality is here. Outcome of spirituality. It's none of your business. Somebody's gossiping and you're not alone. Justice. Alright, so somebody's gossiping. Let's find out what they're saying. What are they saying when they gossip? They're saying that you're a parent and that shit's about to explode. What's the truth? That you can't defend yourself? Why not? Because it's family time. You're attracting like a moth to a flame. You're brainstorming and figuring shit out. And somebody's money hungry. And they're also a hater. Like I said, make sure you are the first one to comment. Alright, I think we're going to close it there with a little bit of guidance. And I think the guidance that we need is going to come from this deck. This has been a profound reading. Guidance, please, Spirit. Woo! I don't doubt that at all. Wow. Power couple right here now. Power couple. Alright, Black Diamond number 39. This is almost a 2-hour video, but it's been worth every second. You have a powerful spiritual journey to take this lifetime. It is not always easy to take this path. However, you are a wisdom bearer. You are one of the precious ones who is not destroyed by dark experiences in life, but is rather able to find wisdom and empowerment through overcoming them. You've done it before and you will do it again now. As your soul becomes powerful through the pressures she has survived, you'll be able to rise to even greater challenges, but they will feel easier for you than before. You are unstoppable. You have every right to feel bold and joyful about what life holds for you next. And Elk Medicine Woman, number 36. So you're somebody who is probably a nurse or a doctor or aspire to be something in the medical profession. There are certain things that are meant to happen at particular times. This is the working of destiny. No matter how much pressure there is from the outside world or from your own expectations, there is an order of events and divine timing in place. Balance your active pursuit of your dreams and ambitions with patience and trust in the right timing of things. You are given a message that you are capable of great accomplishments this lifetime. Rather than fighting against life, trust that it is working with you and for you. Do what is in your power to do, but pace yourself with trust and surrender too. Elk Medicine Woman comes with guidance to heal your soul. Steady does it, wild one. Maintain the pace that matches your inner rhythms. Do not feel rushed by urgency or external demands. You cannot force life to flow. The heart is at pace with this because it knows that perfect timing is divine timing. You have the endurance to go far, to attain great things in this life. You must conserve your energy to maintain your stamina. If you push yourself to exhaustion, you just make the way harder for yourself. Nor does it speed up the results. Forcing creates resistance, which just slows everything down. Elk Medicine Woman understands that you have great courage, which will take you to places that others may not dare to go. With your inner wisdom and self-confidence, there is so much that you shall achieve and receive. She whispers in your heart, affirming that your accomplishments shall be impressive. She guides you to work hard, but also to enjoy your life and allow others to support you. When divine timing is just right, you will hit your stride, and you will attain all that for which you have aimed and more. You're destined to great things. Things that you could never imagine. Let's just see, out of curiosity. Oh, Gaia is over here. Somebody is going to have land, herbalism, or livestock, and it's divine masculine. What would he say to divine feminine? He would say, where have you been my whole life? I've been looking for somebody like you my whole life. And what would she say to you? Woo, she has a lot to say. She would say, I'm reading our text, wanting to text you, but I don't want to look pressed. I love when you fall asleep on the phone with me. What the fuck is up with you? And I hate you. Fuck you, fuck you. And I can see myself marrying you one day in reverse. So for some reason, she's upset with you. Alright. H, North Node, I, B, Venus, HAWK, number 2. Wait, that was Sagittarius. DATJCJX3, Virgo, and Uranus. VTUI, Virgo, North Node, number 5, BIVJ. WG, Sagittarius, North Node, CCBTI, number 5. Alright, let's get trinkets and see what trinkets might come out for this. Divine Feminine says, fuck you. Alright, they're falling out of my hand. I got, consider your impressions and follow them once in a while. I got a Christmas tree. Oh my God! The Christmas tree's holding on to the pirate. The Christmas tree's holding on to the pirate. Thank you, baby. I knew you were helping me. A lot of marbles. The Mayan calendar. Dream, hope, trust, love. A skeleton with a really big mustache. You might know somebody that had a mustache like that or has one like that. Somebody is a card reader. You versus you. A flower. A holly hobby. Your name could be Holly. I have a skeleton riding a chopper. Oh my goodness, I have a dragonfly. An elephant. A dolphin. A leaf. Another elephant. And family. A family's love is forever. A family's love is forever. Forever. And ever and ever and ever and ever. Alright, trinkets from this forward to it. Let me see trinkets from here, please. I got a feather. Somebody sews. They're sewer. They are seamstress or whatever. I have let the spirit of adventure set the tone. I have a piece of rubber. Like you might work in a factory where you make things out of rubber. Maybe you need to wear a rubber. I have a piece of crystal. I have an anchor. I have that worn out infinity sign and it's holding a rocking horse for a baby. Interesting. Cherries. A kundalini. A penny. Young and strong. A cactus or prick. There's that, I have the whole ring. The dragonfly ring that broke that had the turquoise and the dragonfly. I have a feather. I have that light bulb. I have no matter where. I will hold you in my heart until I hold you in heaven. And I love you to the moon and back. Oh, and another rocking horse. You might have had twins. Another rocking horse. Alright, you guys, that's going to be a wrap. I hope you got something out of this. Let's just real quick see how the angels are working in this. Angels, how are you working here to give you that courage that you need and those blessings? Remember, anything else? Nature, detox, and sexuality with freedom. Freedom. One more time, Spirit says. You're going to be awakening to a divine plan. And you're going to show your creative power somehow. Spirit said to find out what your best friend would say. What would the best friend say of the person I'm reading for? Celebrate your successes, and you ain't got time for that. What about the person they're dealing with? What would their best friend say? No coffee once the sun goes down, and say yes to more cheese. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading and that you'll have a lovely evening. I love you. Bye-bye.